And we are live, and I accidentally gave away a bumper I made for later. Fuck, dude, I am... What's up, guys? Well, as you can see, Legion's ass, and then we also have Bogan in the house.
Get it, kids.
Then Steve's trying to figure out his sound right now, guys.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, there you go.
Cool. So, hey, Potato Show. Welcome to Amigos and Co. We've got a special guest down there, that guy. That's Sam. He is, of course, well known. He is the VAPING BOGAN. And we're just here to fill some time, have a chat. Just a bit of a disclaimer. The entire news this week is filled with doom and gloom, and there's horrible things going on. This week, we thought we'd kind of try and steer away from all of that and just take all of our minds off it. So there'll be a little bit of vape, a little bit of that stuff, but just in general, let's just shoot the shit and have some fun. Sam, what do you got to say for yourself? Nice cup, by the way.
Good. How are you, kids? Hope everybody's staying safe and using some of this time to reconnect maybe with their family and friends, but not physically, of course.
Don't check my Pornhub account. Alright, but yeah, anyways.
I don't get it. Everyone's freaking out. It's like, just do what you always do. Sit on your phone. That's just do that. Just do what you always do. Sit on your phone. Just don't do it at a cafe.
Everyone always sits around, like, at work, bored as hell, saying, oh my god, I wish I was at home. I just sit there and do nothing. And now, like, you're literally being told by the world's biggest powers to do it. And you're like, man, fuck that. I'm going on a picnic in a park.
Yeah. Let's go to the beach.
And I don't understand it. Like we got this big lockdown the other day. And I know we said we were going to talk about this, but it was a massive lockdown. And the next day I look at the news and there's like pictures of people partying at the beach. And they're all shoulder to shoulder. It's like, you fucking idiots. Go home. Watch PornTube. Watch YouTube. Just have some downtime.
Yeah.
We all work hard for it, so yes, just enjoy it.
Yeah, I talked about the other night. It was this one video that got me the best. It was definitely like, your average frat dude, like a Chad for sure. And he's like on the news and he's like, yeah, so like we've been partying and planning this party for a long time. It's been like 2 weeks since we planned it, so we're totally not giving it up. And you know what? If I get the Rona, then I'm going down with it, bro. And all his buddies like, yeah. And I'm like, oh my god, dude.
The Rona? Is that what they're calling it?
Yeah, the Rona.
If I get the Rona? Oh my god. Oh man. Like 5,000 people dead in Italy and they're like, yeah, the Rona.
Yeah. Butt chugging 4 Locos, so.
Anyway.
Yeah.
We'll get that out of our systems.
So let's go ahead and hit the buffet and we'll see what, I'll go and start seeing who's in the chat with us. Looks like we've got a good amount of people. Steve, why don't you start, man?
1 second. Because everyone's at home watching PornTube. My internet sucks. It's always bad. This week has just been the worst internet. So yeah, buffet, international law dictates that if you're going to have a round tube or a panel style vape show, you've got to do the buffet. So let me go through mine. It's simple. I've got the topside dual with the axial. I pulled that out of retirement because I fucking love this setup. And yeah, Anarchist Pink Lemonade. Always have a bottle of that on the go. The other thing, new in for review, because I'm getting nothing these days. Like, I get like 1 parcel every 2 weeks. My review queue is so fucked right now. But I did get the Vaporesso PM80. Just came in yesterday. Not a bad little pod setup. Leaks like motherfucker so far. You got the same one.
Yeah, I set up a couple weeks back and I was really impressed. The flavor is good. Have you had any like gurgling? Mine, I don't know, the liquid I'm using is a little bit thinner than maybe it should be.
Let's see, what am I using? I got Goody's lemon cheese bar. I think that's a 70. Yeah, it's a 70/30. Not really much gurgling, but I've had some leakage issues.
Yeah.
Like I said, just set it up yesterday and it's dumped his tank a couple of times.
Yeah,
to the point where last night when I put it into charge overnight, yeah, I took the pod out and left it on a paper towel just in case. I'm going to see if I can figure that out. The only thing I don't like is, there's no air adjustment. It is what it is.
It's very open, isn't it?
Yeah. I would like to just tighten it down just a little bit for a bit more density. I really like the look and feel of it though. It's a really nice size.
Screen's nice too. I quite like the digital screen that they put on this one.
Nice and bright, nice and clear.
Right,
Vapor, I
there's a
thought
little
really,
bit of colour there. It's just a good looking screen.
yeah. The other thing, the last thing that I'm using, still using this because of a few weeks ago we had the Hexome challenge with Chris there. Got my Hexome, got my goat, freshly re-wicked this morning, and I finally cracked my Moe's Vanilla Custard. I've been steeping this one for
Well steeped.
about 2-3 weeks. No, about a month now.
It looks like caramel.
Personally, I think it needs another 6 months because 6 to 7 months on this stuff is fucking killer. But I just can't wait that long. I don't have the cash. I need to order like 50 bottles of this and just hide them. Just hide them for a year because
Put them around the house and forget about them.
yeah, the older this stuff gets, the better it is. But yeah, I just cracked that this morning and it is fucking killer.
That just gives me $1 million idea, dude. Make a fucking vape fridge for like steeping liquids and make it all classy like wine fridges. And it actually doesn't do anything. It just sits there and you can charge like $1,000, put a logo on it.
Just take one of those little fridges that Dinner Lady used to have.
Yeah.
Put your own logo and resell it.
The best thing from Dinner Lady.
Spoke. Yeah, anyway, so like I said, that's the three main things that I have been vaping. I do have a bit of an update. My beloved Odin, mentioned this to the viewers last week. I love this guy. I used it constantly. It was my absolute #1 pick for the last year, and it shat itself. It just stopped. Just died on me.
The DNA or the?
It's the DNA version, and yeah, I've talked to Dovpo, and we're all in pretty much agreement. It's the chip. It's nothing to do with the wiring or anything like that. There's been no juice in there. So I'm after the show, I'm going to pack it up and I'm sending it back to them. Hopefully they'll take care of it. I don't expect it back really fast because the world is fucked right now.
Someone emailed me last night and he cross-threaded his chimney on his Lotto. And he was like, is there anywhere I can get a part or what can I do? And I was like, yeah, just, email Doppo. They're really good about this stuff. But give them plenty of time to get back to you because the world's kind of going to shit at the moment.
Yeah, don't be one of those dicky customers that complains after 2 weeks because you didn't get immediate service. Things are going to take a while. But yeah, I'm going to send this off. To tell you the truth, I'm not the hugest DNA fan. I would be happy if they just stuck their own board in here and sent it back. Because the DNA board, not like I said, not my favorite in the world, but I've never had any issues with their own homegrown boards. I really like them. I like the look. I like the functionality. They perform just fine for me, and they don't have all that extra stuff that I don't really use anyway. So,
yeah, I like DNA really just for mostly replay mode. That's why I like it, particularly if I'm using something like a K-phone with a little stainless steel coil in there or something like that. But yeah, it's evolved every so often. You get a dodgy chip.
Yeah, the actual issues that I had, I looked them up and I found maybe half a dozen or so people that matched exactly. And this is like over the last year, not just double products, but it's specifically the 250C. And not one of those had a clear answer. They all came to like a dead stop. And I'm figuring it's just an issue with the board. No one's to blame. It happens. Not a huge thing. It's
One
not
thing I
that
like
much
about
like a...
them is they're pretty good. They're always pretty good at just giving people a new one.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not that worried. I'm not that worried. It's just kind of sad to have it out of my hands now because...
It's just the worst timing, really, because they're on skeleton stuff. That's why you're not getting much in the way of review products. Mine slowed down dramatically as well. I'm still getting a few pieces here and there, but it's because they're on skeleton stuff, so they're reduced capacity to obviously reduce products, get back to emails, all the rest of it. So everybody's kind of... I heard shops are waiting sort of 4 to 6 weeks for stock.
Yeah.
Coils and stuff coming out of there.
Well, just about all the stuff that I had in for review came in just at the beginning of this, and they've all got like revised due dates. It's like 2 or 3 things from Geek Vape, and they've emailed me like 3 times, like we're pushing it back to the 27th. No, okay, we're flipping them around, and we're gonna put this one out on the 27th and that one on the 8th, and I'm like, okay, fine. I got a pile of things that I can't review. Send me more coils. I've run out.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a thing, a problem for everybody. I think is getting coils. A lot of shops having to limit people to one pack per customer. But hey, look, it's
Yeah, I
getting
know. I
never
know.
ending.
I know. What would you call it? Vaporize sent out an email the other week saying, "Don't panic shop. Don't panic shop." Which
Yeah,
I agree. Don't strip them bare. Don't be like that toilet paper stuff. But on the other hand, I've been advising people for the last month. If you haven't done it yet, get yourself a rebuildable. If you're
yeah,
still on stock coils, get at least one. Get yourself comfortable with a basic round wire build so that no matter what happens, you don't have to go back to the durries. You're good. You're set up. You've got something that will work.
yeah.
You know,
So,
you and I, we're spoiled.
Hmm.
Got cupboards full of shit. But the
Yeah,
average person, if you run out of those stock coils, you got to have something to move to keep you safe and keep you sane.
so Bogan,
Anyway,
what are you vaping on?
yeah,
what am I vaping on? Radio. Just started testing out the Peacemaker V2 sub-ohm from Squid. I got it sitting on the limited edition brass version of the double barrel.
nice.
This thing's so nice. It's getting a really nice sort of patina on it as well. Just a nice sort of used brass look, which I'm really liking. This is pretty cool. I don't know if you guys have heard about this one. It takes your TFV8 threaded coils, but it also comes with an adapter for a Nautilus,
That's cool.
which
Nice.
is
Kind of like the Hell Beast.
yeah. But I think it just looks better than the Hell Beast. It's got that Peacemaker look, which is pretty cool and really durable. Um, the coil, I'm not really. The first one, I'm not being able to get up to the full 70 watts. It's getting a little dry, sort of taste if I'm going past 65. But obviously, the good thing about TFE8 coils, you've got 8 different companies that make coils.
Yeah, I've
Uh,
never understood. Oh, go on. I won't interrupt. I was gonna say I don't understand why more companies don't do what what Squid did there. They've got a nice shell around the outside, it keeps the glass safe.
yeah.
Um, and I don't understand why there aren't tanks that just don't have. I know that everyone wants to see their e-liquid, but why don't we have an optional metal piece that just replaces the glass altogether?
We don't. I don't think you need to see that much e-liquid. These are really good. It comes with a bubble as well, obviously, which gives you more capacity. But if you're in a trade or something like that where you might knock it into
Yeah.
stuff, I think these are really good. So I'm vaping on that with a bit of Mike Vapes. Hit that donut. I should have tried this ages ago, but I found it in my box of liquids and I was searching for some for a mate. And it's really tasty. Just a chocolate donut, nice and doughy, nice and chocolatey. So I'm enjoying that. I have my blotto or my splotto with the Dreamer 1.5.
That color
Such a
combo.
such a good color combo from Stan. With bearded Viking acrylics and a NYX tips, NIX tips. So I've got the full matchy match, pink and black here. So that's fun. Got that going with what's in there? I can't even remember what that was. And then I'm also vaping on. I busted this out. I'm going to do a back to the vape episode on this one. If the camera would focus, come on. It's the Avid Life Able candy, cotton candy. This thing's cool because it's been in production for so long, but it hasn't changed in like 4 years. So we'll do a little back to vape on that. And then I've always got a bit of a cocoa going. Oh, and I'm vaping Jellyman in the Able. This
Nice.
is, I don't know if they still make this. I got this at an expo like 2 years ago. I think it was the first expo I went to.
That's
So
a
many
classic
pages.
dripper too.
Hey?
The classic dripper tip on there and everything.
Yeah, it's got the old school bottle. I don't even know if they still make this juice. I just found it again, a bit of a throwback. But it tastes like jelly. It actually really captures that raspberry red jelly kind of flavor, which is, yeah, I've never had that in a liquid where it actually bang on a fucking jelly.
Nice.
And that's me.
Nice setup. That AV, that's a bit of a high-end piece these days.
Yeah, I mean, AV have always been pretty pricey, I think. I've wanted one of these for so long, and they stopped doing a cotton candy edition ages ago. And then I was over at Birmingham, I think it was October last year, or maybe even May. and they were there, and I picked one of these up. So I was like, fuck, you got the cotton candy back. Hell yes.
Their colorways are always awesome on those too.
Yeah, it's just such a fucking awesome, vibrant purple and blue and pink.
And let's pass it over to Chris for your long extended your buffet.
Yeah.
What are you up to these days?
Man, I switched it up today. I got the goat with the top side and the anarchist pink. Oh wait, it's the same shit as always. No. I've been using the Hexum around the house because it's comfortable for like when you're chilling around the house, but I had to go back to work today, so I leave it at the home, you know. But I got breeze tones in there with the fucking dang with some breeze tones. Well, I already said breeze tones, anarchist pink, whatever, and everything. But while we're talking, sorry, go ahead.
Go on.
No, I was gonna say while we're talking about stuff, I said on Friday that we're gonna do a giveaway no matter what. So it depends on if it gets to you or not. That's on the mail service. But later on, we are gonna give away this Merc, fucking tube mod by I don't even know nothing about it. Guerrilla Tactics. I don't know if that sounds familiar to anyone,
I
but
didn't know that.
it's pretty nice.
Okay.
And then there's a logo. I don't know if it'll focus. It's not gonna focus because I got a cheap camera. But anyways, it's got a gorilla on there. It says Guerrilla Tactics. It's a pretty hefty fucking thing, so we'll give that away later.
Yeah, if you haven't been watching, Sam, which I wouldn't blame you because we're pretty shit. But Chris's whole deal is that like he scams whatever products are lying on the floor under the shelves in local vape, and then he gives them away on the show. So everything is like 5, 7 years old.
Oh, nice.
Usually the bits are there, but like he gave away Hammer of God. No, what was it?
It was the It was called the Hammer, and it was the old school one. It was like this big with the tiny battery.
Yeah.
And then it was like
authentic.
Yeah, it was. I gave away a V2 on the show, and then I got a V1 from a friend to give away on the show because I work with vapors. I've been doing this for a long time, and he's like, "Oh, give this away!" And it came in this big ass box and all this shit. And I was like, "You know what? I'm not gonna give it away because the shipping will be like $10 million." So I give it to a guy that watches our show that lives in Dubai, ID Voca. I'm sure you guys seen him, and so he'll get that soon. He makes this shit real nice. But yeah, he got the V1, man. It was like number 100 and something, I think.
Wow, that's some old school shit. That was a little 18350, wasn't it?
Yeah, I can get my hands on another one. I might be able to do that for the show, or if you want to check it out. But if you want it, you gotta pay for shipping because it was $20 to ship to Dubai. I sent 3 bottles to Steve last week, and it was like $4,000.
Yeah, they're still not here, They're still not here yet. There's Sydney.
If you don't have like an account with a shipping company, whether it be USPS or like DHL, then shipping, if you just go as a consumer to the post office, it's super expensive.
Oh no, I use local vape because that's where I work, and then it's still expensive, man.
Oh really?
Yeah. God damn it. Sorry, my hillbilly neighbors are having a fight again. So no, but yeah, we got an account and everything, but yeah, we'll give that away later. But I come across a bunch of old school shit. Erica, the boss, she's always like finding stuff. She's like, give us away on your YouTube channel, and hopefully it'll make it cool. And I'm like, oh, thanks. And then no, she's not that mean, but yeah.
So you've given away some pretty decent stuff. If you're into like old things and sort of like that retro vape rarities, you just can't find them anymore. There's been quite a few things that you've given away that have been pretty high end.
They're a good source for that sort of stuff because they used to be the kings of all that cool mechanical stuff and the hexomes and all the rest of it. So they would have some treats that are stashed away, I'm sure.
Man, I got a fucking handful of anarchist V1s and V2s up here to give away and shit. And
shit, yeah, that's cool.
I got a camo one and stuff that's kind of cool. But yeah. But enough about me. Bogan, what's new with you, man?
I just moved house, so I've just finally got my new studio space set up, getting back into videos. So, yeah, it's been a busy couple of weeks just getting everything in here and then putting stuff away. And yeah, moving house after 9 years into one place, we had accumulated a lot of stuff.
You don't even realize it.
Particularly me, I had a lot of shit.
How much did you move and how much did you box up and just get rid of?
I brought most stuff. Obviously, we did do a good clean out, but a lot of the stuff. I'm a bit of a hoarder. I generally like to keep. I'm like, I might, I never know when I might need that, and it usually pays off. But it's a fucking pain in the ass. So, yeah, we spent a good week or more moving the stuff over, and then had the removalists do all the heavy shit. So, it was an ordeal, but we're in.
Nice.
Yeah, they say moving is probably one of the stressful times in anyone's life, and it really can be a couple killer. So you guys both got through it. Kudos.
It was physically just fucking exhausting because I was just bringing stuff constantly over. We had a lot of pot plants, and we moved from a 2-story house into a 3-story, and carting everything up because my studio's on the top floor. So I was just like carting up boxes, man. You feel it in your legs after a few days of going up and down stairs.
I once moved 4 blocks in the same area, and it was literally 4 small city blocks.
Yeah.
And because it was so close, and we had the other place like a week before, we thought, well, fuck this. We're not hiring a truck to go 4 blocks back and forward. So we got a shopping cart. And I moved our entire house with a shopping cart. Every day, I'd be like 12 trips back and forward, like loaded with, you know, furniture, legs.
Did you have the big beard? Because people would have thought you were homeless, dude.
I didn't have the beard at the time, but I did look kind of homeless. Yeah, it was.
Just pushing your trolley full of like. Did you get pulled over by the cops being, you know, a trolley full of VCRs and like your TV and stuff? You're like, hey, buddy, what you doing there?
Just moving the house.
Well, a bunch of jars of mayonnaise.
Yeah.
You got receipts for that stuff, mate?
Fuck, man, who keeps receipts?
With a bunch of jars of mayonnaise in the back. Just ready to go.
No, I ate them all first. With a spoon.
Oh, man. All right, so Legion, while you're dying over there.
It's got the Rona.
He's not on South Beach right now. He can't have it.
That's the problem with like Nick Salt, because you'll be like just puffing, just cruising along, walking down the street, and then you'll hit that little spot in your throat, and you'll be like, and everyone just fucking looks at you now, and you're like, you fucking sick cunt. No, it's worse. Just vaping, just a throat. Fuck it.
It's worse than that. It's not that everyone else thinks you're sick. It's that every time, like, I'm sitting here going, I'm hot. Is it hot? Do I have a fever?
Yeah.
Am I sick? And I cough. Oh, I have to keep an eye. Okay, so in 2 days, if that's gotten worse, like, you start inventing shit in your head. Like,
yeah, it's stupid.
You know, try not to think about any of it. My wife's got a MS, so she's a little immunocompromised. So we have been fairly well isolated for the last week and a half, and I'm just trying to keep it that way.
Yeah, if you're just precautious, if you're sort of out of the major cities, you're at a pretty good spot to be.
Yeah, just make sure we wash our hands and all that stuff.
Yeah.
No big tonguey hugs or kisses for people.
Out here, it's real scary to tell if someone's sick or not because the weed's legal and everyone smokes everywhere. So I wait to see if I can smell the scent first. And I'm like, oh, okay, like I can breathe now. Like, we're good.
So I said we were going to try and get off that topic, off all the doom and gloom, and talk about sort of like shit, more positive stuff. So the basic thing I thought of originally was going to talk about music, but then I watched Vaping with the Omis just before we started, and they kind of took away on that. So I want to talk about Netflix and chill. What are we doing to fill our time? Like, what shows are we watching? Especially Sam here, because we know that you like beer, and we know what beers you like. And we know that you like music, and I have a good idea that you and I probably share about a good 80% of our playlist. Mine's probably the older stuff. Yours is probably the next generation, but there's a lot of crossover there. But I have no idea what you like. Do you like rom-coms? Do you like horror? Do you like zombies?
I like comedy.
What do you fill your time with?
I like comedy stuff, and I like a good, I mind like a good drama. I'm not into horror and that kind of shit. But I just like watching dumb stuff. Like, I'm a big fan of like Brooklyn Nine-Nine, The Office, Seinfeld. Like, I just watch old. I love it if there's like a Seinfeld marathon on or something like that. I'll be like, sweet, it's my afternoon sorted. Just watching. Particularly with stuff like this, when there's shit going on in the world that's just super crazy. I think it's super nice just to kind of like go back to a period where life just seemed so much simpler. The 90s, the Seinfeld era. People didn't have cell phones and shit, and it was just it's just a simple, funny kind of escape. So yeah, I'm a big fan of that sort of stuff. What else do? But I also like just dumb shit like Trailer Park Boys. I'm a big fan of Trailer Park Boys and shit like that. What else do I fucking watch? Docos, that's the other thing. I love a good, like, any kind of David Attenborough shit, or like I love those How's It Made or Mega Factories and just dumb shit like that.
So you're into the ultra factual docos, not the heart moving. So and so's got cancer, and we're gonna follow her through her treatments, and it's all good at the end, and you're sitting there with like tears pouring down your face.
Yeah, I'm not so much into that, but I love Louis Theroux stuff. Like Louis Theroux's docos are always super fucking raw and real, and so I like those. But I also watch a lot of just those like Drugs Inc. All of the cartel shit in the US. It's just so foreign for us. That fucking fly, that sort of shit. So yeah, docos and just dumb comedy. What about you guys?
I've been binging on as many zombie movies as I can.
Okay, so you're like a big
and zombie series. I really pissed off. I was like following Walking Dead all the way through, and we only have like streaming services. We don't have cable shit. We don't have Foxtel. Our antenna actually came off the roof. We didn't give a fuck. It's still sitting on the side of the carport. So I was following Walking Dead all the way through, and then they took it off Netflix and put it on Foxtel. So I'm like 4 seasons behind. So I'm kind of really annoyed, and it's really hard to stay away from spoilers when you're 4 seasons behind. It's
that's gonna be tough.
Like there's this new guy with a baseball bat. Like he wasn't even on the show, but I see the memes everywhere. I'm like, fuck no. But yeah, I like horror. I like intelligent horror. I don't like just
So
we just got blood everywhere all the time. Like American Horror Story, or show.
Saw is Saw like an intelligent horror? That sounds like it's.
Yeah, I like Saw. I mean, it's a bit torture porny.
Yeah.
I like it. The wife hates it.
Okay.
Not because she's too gross, but she just hates the story. But I kind of like it, so I don't know. I find
things I can't get into.
I don't know. I like those things, and like you, I like dumb, quirky, like Brooklyn and stuff like that. But I like the British stuff as well. So anytime I can find like a weird British comedy that only did 2 seasons and everything's like just kind of fucked up in it, I'll just sit and binge that while I'm sitting here building. Like,
are you a fan of the Mighty Boosh?
Of course.
Yeah, that's sort of really weird, quirky British stuff. I think British comedy is great because it gels really well with, I think, Australian and New Zealand comedy and that sort of stuff. Or things like Flight of the Conchords or what is it? What We Do in the Shadows. I don't know if you saw the vampire one that the 2 guys did.
I saw the movie, but I haven't seen the series yet.
Oh, it's super, super funny. Really well done. It's the same sort of style of comedy as Flight of the Conchords, but it's vampires and werewolves, and it's got Murray in it, and Murray's like a fucking werewolf, and then they like, it's just super dumb because it's like teenagers meeting up at the McDonald's car park at night, and like fighting and shit, but it's werewolves and fucking vampires, so it's super dry New Zealand humor and done really well.
Yeah, I like American comedy, but it's got its own specific set of rules, and they never seem to break out. Like British comedy has no rules whatsoever.
Yeah,
like you'll have like a show where it's a family and a mom and a dad and a kid, and they work and they do this, and he's a mailman or whatever, and then they'll do one episode where it's just like it's all cartoons, or it just randomly goes off like, and we're going off and we're hanging out with philosophers today, just because. Whereas American comedy is like, well, that doesn't work. He's a mailman. It's got to be in that box,
Yeah.
Like even Seinfeld had its little turns, but it stays within. And Friends, they all stayed within that sort of.
Oh yeah.
That original outline for the show.
Every group show from America has been the same thing since forever, though. Friends, and then How I Met Your Mother, and then all that shit. It's just the same thing. It's a group of people. One bangs the other bangs the other one, and then they all fall in love, and they don't fall in love. One of them has a kid, and then that's
I'm
it.
amazed that you can have something like Malcolm in the Middle, and then they'll just spin that straight off to just the middle, and it's the same thing but without Malcolm. And I'm like, how the fuck is this? How are people watching this?
How do you get rid of the main character of the show and think it's okay?
It's like, oh, we're gonna have Harry Potter, but we'll just take out Harry, and now it's just fucking.
Yeah, that's all the other Harry Potter movies that came out that no one watched. Like.
Yeah, I found the whole middle from spin-off. I was like, what? how does this? Or then you have like Breaking Bad, which is fantastic, and then you have Better
Call Saul.
And just like we're gonna take the lawyer and make a show just out of him.
I actually do like that show, but it's very different, so it's not the same thing. And you're thinking, oh yeah, I'm going in, I'm watching some stuff that's gonna keep me intense, and then all of a sudden it's like a old balding lawyer trying to rip people off for $40. Like,
I think Better Call Saul works because of three things. One is Bob Odenkirk. He's a genius. He's just brilliant, and so he carries a lot of the way to that show. I think the other thing is we all know where it's going to end, so we all want to know how does he get there from here? We want to follow that journey. We know where it's going to be, and then in the first season, I haven't watched the last season, but in the first couple of seasons, they started off with this is where he is now after Breaking Bad, after all that shit. This is where he is, and his life's really shit. And so I just kind of want to see how does he end up working in a donut shop under a fake name. No matter what happens, I just need to know how he got there.
Yeah.
So I will carry through.
but
you're right.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say you're right. America's really weird. They've done that a few times with like really classic shows where they've either fired the main person. There's one way back called Saving Grace, something like that. Grace was the actress who played the main character.
Oh, that's
and it was all about her stand-up, right?
Yeah.
She did like one season, and then they fired her because she was an alcoholic. And then they renamed it. I think it's like the Hendersons or something, about the family that she was with.
Yeah.
And brought in someone else. It's like, couldn't you just retool this completely and just start from fresh?
Not again, yeah.
To be fair, though, you got to go off the standard, which is they did it with one show, and apparently it's still working. You got rid of Roseanne Barr's nasty ass off the TV show, and the show's still working. So, I guess you can do it. It's just how gross the person is.
Yeah, but see, Roseanne was always about the other people.
Yeah.
It was one of those things where you watch the show despite the fact that you don't like her and you like everyone else on her.
Well, all she did was do like what I do here, is just stay in the back and go, and then like, it sounds like...
She went all racist and shit, didn't she?
She took an Ambien and then went on a rant and made it all racial, yeah, and then she tried to blame it on the Ambien, and everyone in America was like, well, no, we don't like you anyway, so bye. It's a cancer culture.
Did a fucking Kramer at the fucking comedy club or whatever it was. Just had a fucking moment.
There should be an expiry date on celebrities where we send them all to an island. Like, okay, we're done with you now. Go away and don't embarrass yourself.
Yeah, I think that there's a certain amount that have a dignity throughout their career. Like Brad Pitt. He isn't. He's never going to become unloved. But there's a certain.
You didn't know about Brad Pitt becoming unloved in America?
He couldn't. No way.
Yeah, he did. That's why he cried at the last award show, because he cheated on Angelina Jolie and their 18 adopted babies.
Oh my god.
But nobody cares because he's Brad Pitt.
No, they do care.
They do care. Cool and he gets along.
Ask me why I know this. I have Snapchat and I watch it when I'm pooping, when I'm stoned, and I scroll everything. It's like 52 celebrities you probably wouldn't go to lunch with. And I'm like, oh shit, dude, you're a scumbag. Anyway, sorry. But yeah.
But there's a certain bunch of them that you're like, you should probably just sort of stop doing stuff now. Maybe just
go hide.
quietly.
Well, it's like, they get caught having sex with transsexuals in their cars, or yelling about the Jews owning Hollywood, or, Roseanne and all that stuff, or they shave their head and run around. They just all go a little bit wacky eventually.
I think the pressure would get to you. There'd be a fair bit of pressure in that.
That's the thing, too, is you got to realize, too, like, and I get where you guys are coming from with celebrities. I was a big proponent of thinking like that, especially for Adam Sandler, because, like, man, that guy's curve was just woof, personally. Yeah. But like we're in this culture right now where like somebody does something wrong at one point, and then we're always talking about trying to be a forgiving people, and then as soon as someone does something bad, oh man, like Chris Brown beat up that girl 12 years ago, we're still talking about it. But like people can make a change, as far as creating great content, probably not, but we gotta give people a chance to change.
You never know. I'm not hard on them for like fucking up, and you're absolutely right. I mean, a whole bunch of stress and pressure on people for being in that position, especially the longer it goes and the bigger you are. But I think the main issue is that when you get to a certain level, nobody fucking tells you no. Everyone just says yes and gives you what you want, and your ego just blows out of proportion. And if you've got other issues going on underneath, that's just going to create whole shitstorm. They need more people just telling them to calm down. Like Adam Sandler, you bring him up. someone should tell him not to make those movies. And I think they did. He made a good movie recently. All his other movies, it was just like, I can make whatever movie I want. I can go where I want, put my friends in it.
Did he do
I'll
that
make $1 million
Pac-Man
bucks.
one? Was
Yeah,
that
but they're
him?
shit.
Was that Adam Sandler doing the Pac-Man one? Was that him?
Yeah. It's like,
That was just terrible. I didn't see it, but apparently it was just shocking.
That's just a money grab, but it's so funny you said they bring all their friends into it. What's that one guy that did like his name's Rob something, and he's in every movie, and he's
Schneider.
Rob Schneider is the worst. I'm sure he's a great person, but he's the worst fucking actor I've ever seen. And man, he keeps getting stuff. And I'm like, dude, stop! Like, stop.
But that fitted well when Adam Sandler was doing those like Billy Madison movies.
Yeah.
The Rob Schneider stuff. It fit. It worked.
As a side character.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Or
I
even
mean,
when he did
it's
some of those other ones, like he did a few on his own, and that would just they worked. But then you put him into anything else, and you're like, no,
Yeah.
he's not.
you know those guys on Saturday Night Live? There's always one every season who just cracks up, and they can't hold character all the way through. Schneider's one of those. He's just way too impressed with himself.
Yeah.
He's way too impressed with the jokes he's telling. He's just like all the way through. It's like, dude, just be the fucking character.
What's the other
and
guy
let
too?
The jokes land.
Yeah.
The other guy too from SNL that took over for Jay Leno. What's that guy's name? He's so annoying. Fuck. Not Jimmy Kimmel, the other one.
Fallon.
Yeah, Jimmy Fallon.
Jimmy
Oh my
Fallon.
god. Like that guy, all he did was laugh his whole career on SNL, and like he took over for Jay Leno, and like I'm like, what the hell's going on? So I'm just gonna create a YouTube channel on here. And I'm just gonna laugh for 4 hours a day, and you guys are gonna subscribe, and we're gonna get rich.
The only way it can work is if you're Jimmy Carr, because you have a ridiculous laugh, and so he just laughs at his own jokes, and then you laugh at him laughing because
Fuck, man. He cracks me up every time.
Have you seen that Your Face or Mine show that he does? And they get couples on, and they basically they'll get like 4 blokes, and they'll put the dude next to the 4, and then they'll have to get the girl to put him in like where does he sit in the best looking out of the group, and the audience has already voted under their seats or whatever. And then if they get it right as to who's better looking, then they win money and they go on. But you're basically asking your partner to say
How ugly
whether
am
you're
I?
good looking as these people next to you, or it's just hilarious the shit they do. And he's just super snide and just.
Well, if you're gonna make
way to
people
break up a relationship on
Oh yeah, it's
on
really
camera.
funny. Yeah, and then they'll bring in like an ex-girlfriend, and they'll sit them next to the couple, and they'll be like, "So who's better looking? Your ex-girlfriend or your new girlfriend?"
Have you guys seen that show? It's going around on MTV where you go with like your close friend and they choose a tattoo for each other, and it always
Oh,
comes
that is
out being
hilarious.
total shit. Yeah, it's like
Oh
I
my
saw
God,
one.
I saw this one.
Yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
This lesbian couple. My God, right? So her partner has apparently a smelly vagina, right? And so she picks a tattoo of a fucking like a vagina with like stink coming out of it. I think it's an octopus with a pussy for a mouth, and then there's like stink fumes, and it's like this big on her fucking thigh. She's trying to send her a message that you need to like fix your personal hygiene. It's like, dude, you just put a fucking massive tattoo of a smelly vagina on your girlfriend.
I saw one where I saw one where it was a grilled cheese in between open legs, and it's like because you're always cheesy down there, and it was the guy, it was the girl's boyfriend.
Yeah, and then they literally like fight on camera. I mean, it's all that fucking reality TV.
Yeah.
How much of it is real
Well,
and how much is not. But I'm pretty sure it's a real tattoo.
Yeah, it's a real tattoo, and you know it's gonna be a crap show because Snooki from the fucking Jersey Shore hosts it. So.
Oh, is that where he's from? I had no idea who he was. I was just like, oh, you're one of those like MTV douchebags.
Yeah.
When back when I was in Canada, the thing I loved watching daytime reality show repeats. All the really bad ones like Pawn Stars and
Pawn Stars
what's the one where they open up
The storage units.
storage unit ones,
Storage Wars. I love that show.
and the car repo ones. Because they are so bad and they are so fake. Like everything is scripted. You can tell all the way
It's
through.
ridiculous. The
It's just
fights
this
with
little-
people, they're so fake. The fights and the arguments.
There was the one where the guy was repoing the car, and the old guy acted like he had something medical going on with him, and you could tell it's totally staged because it's like worse acting than you've ever seen. And he's like, "Oh, call an ambulance," and the guy that's supposed to repo the car was like, "Oh my God, what's going on?" He's like, "But not for me." And he had like a pistol. It was like an old school revolver, and he's like, "Oh my God, this guy's gonna shoot me." And then like it's so scripted, so bad. Or the Pawn Stars, the guy's like, "I found the Declaration of Independence." He's like, "Bro, I can do you like $200. Like that's it. Like that's all you're getting." But that's the fun you need,
And that's the thing, the Pawn Stars one, it's like, yeah, I know it's Vegas. I know people want money. I know people have weird shit. But there's no way that amount of special stuff is coming through one single shop daily.
They've probably got a team of people researching, finding people with weird shit and being like, hey, we have a TV show. Can we pay you like to come in like you're going to sell it? And blah blah blah.
Yeah, I've gone down there.
Shop, isn't it? Like it's actually a legit shop.
Yeah, it's right down. It's in downtown here, and I've gone down there a couple times. And you're absolutely right. Everyone that walks in there is a tourist with the bellies hanging out of their their shirts and stuff, and they're like 8 kids, and they're just walking through, and they have like 5 things on display. There's no one in there actually ever. I've never seen anyone try to pawn something. So yeah. It was like, tell me who the hell's got a ancient Egyptian horticulturist on call? Like, go ahead.
Like, I can understand that people will be selling off their rings and their jewelry and shit. That's them gaining stock. But who the fuck's buying stuff in Vegas?
Yeah.
Who's in Vegas going, I want to buy some used shit and go home with it?
Well, that's the thing is we have a lot of classic stuff here, like antiques from like when we had the old Vegas, and a lot of the pawn shops downtown, they have a lot of that stuff. So there's some cool, it's like I go down there and pick up old camera lenses or props for photos, and they do have some cool stuff. But for the most part, we have like easy pawns, like 7-Elevens on every corner around town, like cash your checks here. And you go in there, it's a camcorder with peanut butter in the eye socket and all that shit.
Yeah.
So
it's like a lawnmower that doesn't work properly.
It's a lawnmower that has a weed eater like glued to it, like.
Like, what do you...
But yeah, I don't think tourists are coming here to buy anything from the pawn shops. But we're about 15 minutes out. To keep the show light, I did put together a graphic of like something goofy in the news, and I apologize, guys. I got so high before I did this, so it's gonna look like crap. Here it goes. What the? Look at that guy right there. It took me 45 seconds to edit. Anyways, so. In Florida, nonetheless, there was a cow that they could not catch. And this cow, the cop said, was faster than anything, and its pending charges are moving violations, uttering false checks, fleeing and eluding police. And in the news article, I'll post the link in the chat, is saying that the cop said that this cow has been on the loose since January because it's faster than it looks. So the cops in Florida cannot catch a cow which produces milk and stands in a stall all day.
Is this a real article?
Yeah, I posted the link in the chat.
Has this cow been on the run longer than those 2 fucking dudes that got shot and shot up people and went to Canada?
Probably, because these guys have been gone since January. It's 3 months. 3 whole months. This cow has been on the run for 3 months.
That's nuts.
And so, yeah, the link, it'll show you that the cop said that they just couldn't catch it. It was way too fast.
What the fuck? How you... So if you want to get away from the cops, you just need a really good cow?
Yeah, basically, you gotta be powered by milk.
Cow and you're fine.
Yeah, that's why I tell you
we
drink
can't
milk.
catch him. He got away on a cow.
It's utterly ridiculous, but yeah.
Last seen heading towards state lines on a black and white cow. Do not approach. He's armed and dangerous.
Yeah. So in America, police.
Those cops are smoking something there.
Yeah.
It's Florida. It needs no explanation, like Jason said in the chat. So yeah, that's our Florida Man story for today, and that's our what the. But yeah, anyways.
I've got one actually. How's this? So a cat who was a foster cat, he was being looked after by a foster family and then rehomed to a permanent home, got out the other day and made its way all the way from its new home back to the foster home, which was 32 kilometers away, which is 32 in miles for the Americans watching. That's 19.8 miles. That's 20 miles.
A cat went 20 miles to go back home.
It made its way 20 miles, 32 kilometers back to its foster parents.
Jesus.
It took it a couple of days.
That's the
Well,
most loyal
it's
cat.
clearly made its vote of no confidence to the new family.
Yeah, he's
and,
like-
kudos to the foster family for loving it, I guess.
Apparently was super happy when I got home, purring loudly. So this cat's like, no, fuck you guys, I'm not doing this. See ya.
Fuck you, I live here now.
I can't believe
They'll
you
be my
replaced me
mind.
with vegans. No.
I'm just amazed that it was able to navigate its way. Like, it's across the city,
Yeah.
20 miles. It's a long way, and for it to actually be able to get there safely as well, crossing all the roads, it's nuts.
It's crazy to me that a cat would do that and go all the way back home when, like, my dogs are the most spoiled animals I've ever met, and that door's open. They're like, all right, I'm out. And just fucking run forever. That wasn't in the Homeward Bound movie. But
So we're coming up to the final minutes. We should probably run our X1s.
yeah, you guys go ahead, start tossing those X1s. If you joined in late, we are giving away a Guerrilla Tactics Merc tube mod. And this thing is beastly. Let me open it up because I think you're going to need a fat battery for it, maybe. I don't know. You guys have to figure it out. I'm not an expert. And these guys haven't touched it before, so I don't know. But yeah, so
Is
it's
it new
got...
or is it old?
It's old. It's definitely at least a couple years old.
Oh shit. Probably 18650 then, I'd say.
Yeah.
Or it could be. It's not a 2650.
I'm not
26
sure.
650. Nah,
It's
that would be
gonna
wide
load.
enough.
Oh, it's not going to load.
It's like,
I'll throw an
It's
18650
18650
in there. Oh yeah, it's 18650. This is why you don't get reviews from me, guys. That's why you go to Bogan or you go to Legion.
keep in mind, guys, this guy works for a vape shop. And he packs your orders.
I pack your orders when I'm not busy taking pictures. I take the
Good at this,
pictures.
Good at that.
And you can ask T Getz if he's still in the chat. If I know you and I see your orders go through and I'm helping out in the warehouse, I'll draw you a little picture.
As always, I'm going to throw out my little disclaimer here. This is a mechanical mod. You need to know how to build. You need to know how to build safely. You need to know your battery safety. And if you blow your face off, it's not our fucking fault. Be cautious. Be careful. Otherwise, enjoy. Whoever gets it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
And so I figured, we didn't do a giveaway last week because of all this stuff going on, but I figured it'll get in the mail. If it'll get to you eventually, it will, but it might take some time, guys, so remember that.
Yeah,
but
might be a little longer. I believe most places Post is still operating.
Yeah.
I know DHL, the word from DHL to the guys that do my juice and stuff were like, everything's fucked, but we are working.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's considered essential services, all that stuff. So it's all going to still keep going.
And that's a good message for people is
Slower
keep-
than usual.
Keep supporting your online businesses because a lot of these shops now that maybe had brick and mortars are only relying on online. So keep buying stuff, guys. It might take a little longer to get to you, but it will. Support those shops because we need them to be there when we open up again.
The words that I've heard from most of the Australian retailers is, they're all staying open. They're all either doing curbside service or online. Even if you can't get into the shop or get to where they are, their online is still functioning. And they do definitely need you to keep purchasing like normal orders, keep them alive because they are the lifeblood of what we do here. So,
Yeah. Speaking of which,
buy more juice.
our the Amigos code Amigos20 will work at localvape.com. That's a code for you guys to use, get 20% off your order. And if you guys didn't know, like I've been chilling the last 3 weeks, Breezetones now has 2 new options of coils on gauges at Local Vape. They're ready to go, and we are online, so you can order from anywhere in the world except for maybe I think Guatemala because it's hella illegal because they're all fraudulent. But anyways, no. Yeah, use the code Amigos20 at localvape.com, get 20% off your order, and you get Breezetones coils or whatever else you need. And shout out to Erica since we're doing it. Half the stuff up here we give away to you guys. She gives me, she goes through and she finds stuff she doesn't want anymore. She's like, hey, you're a loser, you need this, it'll be cool. She gives it to me, and I give it away to you guys. So shout out to Erica.
Love it.
While we're doing shout outs, there's one name that's popping out in the chat today that I want to give a special shout out to because I've been seeing him pop up everywhere supporting live shows like ours, supporting other reviewers, supporting companies, and just generally what's really stood out is I've seen him start popping music up everywhere. And he's got killer taste. So, Lovely Vapes, I want to say thank you. You, the last couple of days, have really cheered me up just seeing a lot of your comments, seeing the music that you're sharing on your own personal page. Yeah, big. Look, I'll tell you what. I'll do the Grim Green.
Great, now we're gonna get a copyright hit. No. Also, guys, if you didn't see it on Friday's show that I did, we did an expose on Alex Jones being a gay frog. If you guys didn't know, I do a show on Fridays, and it's really, really gritty and gross. If you think that this is kind of shitty, you should wait till you see my show, because it's real bad, and I've been inspired. I was talking to Steve about the show before this, and if anyone in the chat's heard of this guy, let me know. But internet historian, he makes these videos on YouTube, and he makes fun of things in like the most dry humor way, and he's actually a New Zealand guy. And it's like, so, you know, he's got a sultry accent, and then he goes in and talks about, like, from CNN being all crappy, but he does it with, like, clip art graphics and shit. So
Nice.
if you guys see stuff like that on the channel, that's because of me, and if it sucks, I'm totally not going to stop.
Just side note, Shane Beekman's just popped into chat, and yeah, he's got some bad news there. He says that his injury, he's got a bone floating in his spinal cord. He's looking to have surgery, and he's scared shitless. I understand, man. I would be scared too, but all the best. I hope that the surgery is quick, fast, painless, all that stuff.
Yeah, man, all the best with that,
Really
Shane.
good.
I remember when Shane had that accident. I don't know if you guys are familiar with what happened. He was on a bus, and the bus driver braked too suddenly, and he flew forward and basically bent over a pole or the box or whatever it is by the wheel. Really fucked up his back. So yeah, I've been following that poor Shane. Good luck, man. I hope your surgery goes smoothly as possible.
Yeah, and a big shout out to Shane.
Look after yourself. And Shane, man, I'm all around on the internet. Get in touch with me if you need anything. I'm in the middle of nowhere, but anything I can do to help you out, just give me a shout. I'm always here.
Yeah, big love to Shane. If you guys didn't know, he's been supporting the channel since day one. He's always been around. And I've said it before, and I'll say it right now. He's my favorite amigo. So, Shane, big love to you, bro. I hope everything goes good.
He's a supporter of mine. He's a Patreon. He's always been a great member of the community, going through some tough shit.
T. Getz just said his X1's for Shane. Actually, you know what? You guys keep doing the X1's for that giveaway. And Shane, you can have the baby blue anarchist. I'll send that out tomorrow morning, bro. I got your address.
Fuck yeah, that's nice. Go with that. Good stuff.
That's sweet. That's really sweet. And the baby blue, that's the. Isn't that the one that when we showed them a couple weeks ago, everyone was like, "That's the one they wanted."
Yeah.
Because he deserves it. He
Baby
deserves
blue
it.
is nice.
And I know he likes to build, so there you go. You got something to build on. It's nice and sturdy. But yeah, Shane, mucho love, bro. Hope everything goes good.
Yeah.
But everyone else, keep throwing those X1s. We'll get that going for you. And then, yeah. Besides, since we're coming to the end of the show, Bogan, thanks for coming on, man.
Guys, it's a pleasure. I'm trying to put as much content out as I can because I know there's a lot of people at home, locked in and that kind of thing. I've got a bunch of supporters in Italy and France who are doing it really tough. So I know that, people like us are lucky in that I work from home, so I'm pretty safe, and I want to just try and keep doing stuff. So I've got to go and demolish a bunk bed at my old house before Hard Rubbish comes tomorrow. I got my son I got this second-hand bunk bed a couple of years ago, and it was big and heavy bits of wood in it. You know, with that chipboard shit, when you take it apart, it splits and you can't put it back together properly. So I put this thing together, and I just fucking tech screws here, tech screws there. Like I put this thing, and I was like, it's not coming apart again. So I'm just gonna go in there with an axe and fucking destroy this thing. And put it out on the street for the council to come tomorrow. But I wanted to get on and do some more of this. I got another show happening for mental health. I think it's this Sunday.
Yeah, the Vaping Misfits, right?
That's it. Yeah, so I'm going to do that one.
Awesome.
I think Nick's going to jump on. I'm going to do some more live streams myself. I've got all my mods that I had to box up to move. I did one the other day. It was like 3 hours of me just like unwrapping all the mech mods that I had, and just like, oh yeah, remember this? So there's stuff from like 3, 4, 5 years ago. So I've just been doing like a little live stream brief history of vaping. I've still got my regulated mods and another box of mechs to go through. So I'll be doing some more streaming and content and shit over the next whatever.
Yeah,
Nice.
I noticed the same thing with Nick. He's been doing the same thing, just randomly coming on whenever he feels like it, rather than the usual schedule. just to try and keep those people that are sitting at home just entertained, because this is going to be a long.
It's going to be a few months of
period.
this. It's going to be a few months of this, and particularly for those that are vulnerable with respiratory or pre-existing conditions, like your wife. You know, she's got low immune, so she probably should really stay indoors for the next three months kind of thing, or until we know that there's not a chance. So yeah, for anybody that's out there and is stuck at home, we're going to do our best. I've got to go smash this bed up, but then I'm going to get back into making videos.
You could do a video of it and do an office
taking that axe to it, though.
I am kind of looking forward to just like, you know, just getting, there's been a lot of tension, there's been a lot of stress in the last week. I had my head down for a good 7-10 days while I was painting a few things in the house and doing a few things and getting shit in here. And so I just wasn't paying attention to social media or anything. And then I got a bit of a shock because I went to the cafe and I was talking to the lady, we knew her, and then she was like, oh yeah, there's like 2,000 people dead in Italy. And I was like, no, there's not 2,000. There's like 2,000 people infected. There's not like 2,000 people dead. I got home and I fucking turned on the news and there were like 1,800 people dead in Italy. I was like, holy shit. She was fucking, I felt like an arsehole for like disagreeing. But it kind of snuck off me real quick. So now I'm sort of set up. I want to try and get back into content. I've got a backlog of things to review. So even though China's not really sending a lot, I have like 3 little tubs of fucking product. I got plenty of content coming. So
nice.
Yeah, sit tight, guys.
Yeah, if you guys don't
buy it, but this review's coming.
If you guys don't follow Bogan already, you can find him on YouTube and on Instagram. I put his name on his picture right there. You can find him everywhere.
Or not. I'm just on big.
Look, if you can't find Vaping Bogan on the internet, you're not trying hard enough. He's fucking everywhere, and rightly so.
Thanks for having me on, guys. You do a great thing here. It's always nice to do these live shows, get in touch, hang out with people like myself, because we get a bit isolated being creators, and not isolated, but you know, we don't really have colleagues to hang out with as such. So it's always fun to hang out with people that do a similar sort of thing.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Yeah, we there's no such thing as hanging around the water cooler in our business. We're pretty much
no, and that's why I love the conventions that I got to go to, because it was a really good chance to hang out and you know, there's just stuff that you talk about with other creators that only really someone that does content regularly kind of understands. Not that other people don't get it or anything like that, but it's just one of those things. If you're a builder, you talk to other builders about shit that the average day person doesn't know. So yeah, it's fun to do these sorts of shows, and hopefully we can get back to expos and stuff maybe next year.
Well, I got you here, and you're on that topic. Just curious. I of course have a background in photography, and I transitioned that to video and doing my channel. And when I started, I watched you and Nick and Biker and all those guys. They all picked up various tips and tricks. But I gradually transitioned to watching a lot more creator-based channels.
Yeah,
camera reviews, lighting reviews.
Dude, and I learned. Yeah, people like often say how much they love the travel blogs that I do when I go to like New Zealand or Expo in the UK. And if you look at my first one, like they're way too long. There's just, all the clips are just like 10-second clips and stuff, like just way too long-winded. 35-minute video on an Expo, it's just too long. And I started watching like Casey Neistat and Dan Mace and guys like that, who totally unrelated to vaping, but really good creators and really good at telling a story. And I just pinched all their B-roll tricks and shit like that, and I just got really into it, and I just learned from them. So yeah, absolutely. Watching those, and then Peter McKinnon, I just watched his shit, and I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna try and do Peter McKinnon B-roll, and even if it comes out half as good, it looks awesome because he's just a fucking genius. So yeah, I love those sorts of stuff. It's and that's the fun thing about it, and getting into the non-review stuff, whether I do a travel blog, there's just so much more creativity there and fun to play around with different shots.
You hear that a lot. There's a certain criticism about reviews being, we got my FaceTime, we got my table time, we got my FaceTime, and that's it. But it is the most effective way. You can throw some B-roll at the beginning.
Yeah.
I do that every now and then. Daniel does that all the time, and that really spices things up. But there's not a lot that you can do. And getting out and doing something different. I watched your more recent one when you went to the vaporized warehouse.
Yeah, that was really fun.
Like,
video.
Oh man, Yeah, it was like you went and did the video that I wanted to do. Fuck you. But you actually did a really good job of it. It was a nice change to have something that's still on topic, personal. Like I'd love to see the actual interaction with the people and behind the scenes. And I
Yeah.
think that a lot of people don't think about that side of things. So it was really nice to see that.
Yeah, before all this stuff happened, I wanted to do some more of those videos, sort of behind the scenes. It was really fun, like going to the Kennedy workshop and being able to show people how their mod is actually made. And it's not like, you know, some big factory in China just pumping out your stuff. It's Steve and one or two of his workers with $1 million worth of machinery, and they're just fucking putting in copper and brass pipes and cutting shit up, and it's fucking really cool. And he's just like such an old school fucking dude. You know, no bullshit, just, you know, and people are like, oh, you know, the kind of guy that's not great at emails, but he's not great at emails because he's so good at making fucking mods.
All right,
Yeah,
so
and you can, you know.
okay.
Okay, go on. I know where you're going with this.
All right, so we're coming down. We're a couple minutes past. Let's go ahead and throw these X1s in the randomizer. Bogan, since you're our guest, and I want to throw it out there real fast. If you guys didn't know, if they haven't been around here, Bogan was on our first show almost a year ago, too. On our first Amigos show.
I didn't even realize that I was on the first one.
Yeah, it was you, and then we also had Jim Berg Coleman, and then we had you guys on here. Yeah, you guys. So thank you for coming back. I want to throw that out there because I remember that.
That's cool. It's been a year.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
we'll have to put it in the calendar for next year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then we do an annual fucking appearance. I like it.
All right, Bogan, choose a number between 1 and 173.
1 and 173. All right. Cool. Let's go. Can I just say it?
Yeah.
Yep.
128.
128. And our winner is Shane Beekman. Dude, you won twice tonight.
What? Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's insane, but it couldn't be more perfect, and it couldn't be for a more deserving guy.
Wow, that is fucking.
That is
yeah.
just awesome.
So
That's nice.
there you go. Boom. Shane, shoot me your info again. I'll probably forget it. And yeah, dude, congratulations. You're getting both those. I'll send them out tomorrow. I'll send you tracking in the morning. And we'll go ahead and close it out, guys. Legion, you got anything else you want to throw out there?
No, a heck of a lot. As usual, this Friday, Australia time, Thursday for you guys in the States. I'll be doing my Iron Vaping live over on my channel. Should be doing another review during the week. Like I said, not a lot of things, but that'll be coming out. And oddly enough, I'm kind of planning a live stream of how to be a vape reviewer, what you need to think about, all that sort of stuff.
That's a cool
So
idea.
that should be coming up sometime over the next week. And again, I was planning on filming it, but that one's going to be live because I want some interaction and I want to be able to answer some questions and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's a good idea. People have plenty of questions.
Yeah. Other than that, not a lot going on. Just hiding out in my home, staying safe, and vaping. What about you? Well, you've already said what you're doing. You're doing lots of videos. What about you, Chris? What are you up to?
Just the Friday, we'll be back with Glenn, my awesome co-host. We'll do another show on the Amigos channel, and I'll have something thought up. Last week, we did an expose on how Alex Jones was a gay frog, and that's why he was mad about other frogs being gay. This week, I don't know what we'll come up with, but it'll be something good for our tinfoil hat time. Bless you, Bogan. And
Thank you.
I just want to throw it out there before we close this out. You said you're going to maybe do some more lives or something, Bogan. You got like a time frame to look forward to that for these people?
I haven't set a time as yet. It's tricky for me because I'm always trying to work it so that the US, the Australian, and the UK can kind of watch it because that's my sort of core viewers. So yeah, I'm trying to think of a time. It may be, I'm thinking probably like later in the evening Australian time, which is sort of afternoon for the UK. And then I think some of the US can watch it, like the East Coast, it's still like late in the evening or something like that. So yeah, probably I got to work out the times, but I want to do like a regular weekly kind of live show, possibly with some other guys. But I'm definitely going to be doing just some live streams of me unboxing these mech mods over the next sort of week or so. I'm also going to do a studio tour. Obviously now I'm in the new place, so once I get everything into its spot completely, I'll do that. But yeah, plenty of reviews coming as well, just the usual stuff. So yeah, apart from that, guys, guys. Stay safe. Stay at home if you can. Wash your hands, and yeah, we'll be fine. We'll get through this.
Yeah. Don't go find people in the
Stop buying
streets.
toilet paper. Fucking stop it.
If your ass is that nasty after this, then what'd you do before? Anyways, guys, have a great night. We'll see you next time.
Cheers, dickheads.